And now it's time for a mastic moment. As Opie and Anthony take a glorious look at this majestic Long Island community.
7 children on Long Island were found living in deplorable conditions. They are now in foster homes this morning. Police say their home in Mastic Beach had no running water or electricity and was filled with rotting food, feces, and bottles of urine. 5 adult family members are under arrest charged with child endangerment. The children range in age between 2 and 13.
And that was a bird's eye view into the scenic town we hold close to our hearts. A mastic moment on the Opie and Anthony Show.
Wow, we have not paid tribute to the shithole that is called Mastic, Long Island.
The mastic moment comes from the fact that horrific things happen in that town all the time. And there was a story, I don't even remember the original one anymore, and a morning show out there on Long Island had fun with it and almost got fired for making fun of the town of Mastic.
Yeah, they're like one of the head muckety-mucks out there in Mastic got all pissed off and made a big to-do about it.
So we took note. Mm-hmm. And we decided to show the whole world how awful Mastic is now.
Yeah.
Because these stories pop up on a regular basis.
Oh, my God.
There's always something bad going on in Mastic.
Mastic stinks.
There you go.
Mastic moments living in feces. That's wonderful. Feces.
How does it get so bad where you're living in feces?
Yeah. What's the first feces that is there that no one cleans up?
Every once in a while.
It's got to be the first little lump of feces.
But every once in a while you go into someone's house and you'll see maybe a little like pet poo somewhere in the house, and they just didn't realize it. You might point it out like, oh my God, and they're mortified. But how does it get to a point where you're now living among the feces?
It's just piled up. I went to school with some kid that had a shit room in his house.
What do you mean a shit room?
He had a dog, and the dog would take dumps in the house.
Yeah.
And he would just pick it up with something like the 2 pieces of cardboard where you do the old steam shovel, pick it up with it. And then he'd throw it in this room. He'd open the door and throw it in the room, and the room was full. The whole floor was covered, and it was like starting to stack up with shit.
How close was that to the living area?
It was in the living area. It was
did the rest of the house
another bedroom.
Smell
like dog shit?
And what did the parents say?
I don't know. I never saw him.
Really?
Yeah, it was one of those after school. You'd go over his house, and you'd know that he lived in the dog shit smell house with the shit room. And he'd come home, and the dog had shit all over the place, and he'd pick it up and throw it in the shit room. Yeah.
You ever go to someone's house that has a lot of cats?
Yeah.
Where they're just crawling all over everything?
Yeah.
I'm not talking 4, 5. I'm talking at least a dozen.
4 was bad enough, my friend.
You had 4?
Yeah, that was the old ex-wife was 4.
1, 2, 3.
It was little JD.
You want to talk about a cool cat. Ann had the coolest cat ever.
Yes.
It was a dog, basically. It did dog things.
Little doggy cat.
It was a doggy cat.
And then Ginger, JD and Ginger.
Right, I remember Ginger.
And then there was the little panda, which was the little black and white one. And then that little pipsqueak one, the little runt of the litter one. 4 cats. I had mechanical fucking cat boxes running like a fucking job site all night long. I'd be trying to sleep. All I'd hear is, and the thing would rake, the cat shit and the big lumps of cat piss into a bag.
It is a great invention. They just got to make
really is.
Like much more quiet.
No, this was like jackhammer loud. And then you pick up the bag and empty it out, put another bag in, and
does it actually keep the smell out pretty well?
No, with 5 cats, it's very hard to keep any smell out. It's still a bag with shit and piss in it.
Was there fur all over the place?
Yeah, fur. Everything was clawed up. It was a fucking. That's why I will not own a cat.
Just get it declawed.
No.
And pet it.
No, they still fuck with it. You can't declaw that. Like, they won't declaw the back legs of a cat, and that does just as much damage when they jump off of shit. I have nice stuff. I'm keeping it that way.
Just give him a little scratch under the chin.
No.
Little
Shuka. It's always fun to give a cat a shuka.
They love that.
But then they shuka your arms of your chairs and your rug, and it ends up having to go underneath your car. $4,000 rug ends up in the garage.
That's pretty amazing.
Oh, boo.
Let's go to James and Shirley. James?
Hey.
Shirley, very close to Mastic. For the people out there that don't know.
Yes, indeed it is. I actually grew up in Mastic, up in the north end by the airport. And I used to be in the fire department out here for about 6-7 years. And we did a job in this house on William Floyd Parkway. Anthony, I'm showing you where that is.
Of course I do.
These people had a whole room dedicated to their dog. And all their dog would do was piss, shit, and puke in the fucking place all day long.
Jesus.
And it wound up being a fucking basement fire. And we got to check the whole house. And we went into this room, and I swear to God, I mean, listen, I feel a lot. And I almost lost my shit. But the real kicker is that these people who own the house used to be fucking friends of my parents.
Really? Would they just lose their minds?
Well, they obviously recognized me, and the guy said, "Oh, how you doing, James?" I said, well, "Listen, man, you live like a fucking animal."
You told him?
Yeah, he's a fucking bastard. They live like a piece of this shit. You kidding me? Thus, my wife and I are purchasing a new home in Comac.
Yeah. Getting out of there.
Yeah, we gotta get the fuck out of here. All right, boys, I'm touching out. Take care, man.
All right, James, thank you. Let's say hi to Amber in PA. Amber.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I'm Sam's #1 fan, by the way.
Wow.
So I have these friends, and they have 5 cats, right? And their cats shit everywhere, and they have these 2 cat boxes just overflowing with poop, right? And the cats just pee everywhere, they claw everywhere, the house stinks. Like, it's one of those apartments that you can smell, like, 5 feet away from it, like, outside. And one time I sat my purse on the floor and picked it up, and there was a huge wet spot from the pee.
Oh, God damn, right?
You know, as far as pets go, cats suck a dick.
Yeah.
You do all this shit for them, and they don't give you anything in return. They give you nothing in return.
Oh, they'll roll. They'll like roll up on you.
That's
if
just
you're
to get
sleeping,
more
and
shit
then be
from
like,
you. But what does that mean? They need something.
And then they're clawing. They're doing that little. whether they alternately claw with
Yeah.
And then a second later they just get up and run off.
They make biscuits on you. That's what we used to call it. They make biscuits. And they put their little paws in your face.
Shut up.
That's what they do.
Biscuits.
They make biscuits.
They think you're a giant cat tit. And that's how they fucking nursed when they were little kittens.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Making biscuits.
The difference between a cat and a dog, right? There's trouble at your front door. What does a dog do? He's right there with you. He wants to bite off a testicle. and a cat, what does it do? It runs and hides under a bed or something.
Nothing better than watching cats fucking up. Danny's playing a great
funny cat video.
Funny cats screwing up videos.
Mm-hmm.
One jumping right onto the rim of a bathtub and then falling in.
He was trying to get
Look
over
at this.
a cactus.
The cat going under the doors. That's just
That is
ridiculous.
amazing. Uncle Paul, cat with a baby. Cats are funny though when they screw up. Oops.
What's cuter than a kitten? Come on.
Kittens are very cute. And then a cat by a mirror that is just hunchbacked and going crazy. Like a real graceful.
Cat walking off the edge of a dresser, dummy.
You fell in a box.
Wow.
That's amazing. Jumped right
This
up to
is
a
cats
chandelier.
jumping.
Yeah, it's just
We're just watching cats jump. And this person just threw the cat in the air and it clung to the ceiling with its little claws. There's a baby getting tackled by a cat.
I like the other one. I will. What did he say?
I will end you.
I will end you.
The guy screaming at his cats.
Yeah.
Let's say hi to Roy in Chicago. Roy.
Yeah, I had a lady way back in the 70s when I was an intake worker, geriatric intake worker. She thought she was a nonprofit herself, but she wasn't. She was just going around the neighborhood picking up everybody else's cats.
Oh.
I counted up to 80 cats in one room. I would say to myself all the time, why is the floor moving? It was cats. So I basically counted everybody else.
Wait.
I couldn't believe it. I have a picture of it somewhere from 30 years ago. It was amazing. So
If you have a picture of a house that has 80 cats, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Send that one in.
Dig it out.
Yeah, figure it out and get it to us, please.
So the neighbors would go there to look for their cats if they would disappear after about 2-3 days.
Right.
So she was just picking up cats around a 3-block, 4-block radius. It was just sort of pretty wild.
I'm watching a video. Sorry to interrupt you, but there's a cat that gets thrown off a ceiling fan. There's another one where there's a little baby toying with the cat's tail, and he's fucking with this cat. And the cat kind of like jumps at him, but watch how the cat like kind of smacks around his face, but doesn't scratch his face.
Yeah, he smacked like the side of his head
because he knows that would be the death to him.
My cat would never scratch my face either. Like, my cat would get annoyed at me, and whenever I put my hand to grab his stomach, his back claws would kind of just dig against
mine. Oh, they do that, yeah, that back leg thing.
But I would put my face in, and he would always just put his legs there and then never scratch my face.
What were you doing, putting your face in there?
His stomach, just to see if he would scratch my face, yeah.
Looking for the little penis?
No.
The little wee-wee.
The little wee-wee.
No.
The little cat wee-wee.
I remember one time I think I was a young teenager, and I took my cat's head, and I put his cool nose against my asshole, and I farted on his nose. I feel bad about that, actually. It was like one of these.
You did.
Yeah, he was not happy.
Well, she would have clawed your asshole. Just pierced your ass with his little
cat claw. Scratched my vas deferens and I bled to death.